What's up, ladies? Hello, hello. Welcome to day 2 of our 2-day masterclass experience, really teaching you ladies how to achieve the level of tone that you've been working for, but for some reason it's not there yet. And you may be asking yourself, is this all my body's capable of? Or are my hormones playing a role? Or what the heck is happening? Is it my genetics? And it's like, no, it's actually just your plan. It's precision tracking, it's mindset, it's lifestyle. And so we're going through a lot of that today. Yesterday, and actually, ladies, drop me a 1 if you were at yesterday. Drop me a 2 if you need the replay link. Yesterday, Coach Sierra and I talked about physique shaping and making sure that your lifting routine is actually designed to get that outcome you're wanting it to get, right, to achieve. And then I went on and I shared a lot of different strategies about when you're eating out, when you're out at social events, making sure that you don't have that perfectionism mindset and that you are able to be flexible and be playful. We talked about travel, we talked about vacation, and a lot of really actionable tips. And today, Coach Shelby at the bottom here is going to talk through more nutrition strategies, which is so important because I would say this is a third. Y'all think it's like almost the whole reason why it's not happening, but it's literally just a third of the piece of the puzzle. The other third is lifestyle and mindset. And the other third is physique shaping and your style of lifting, your strategy with lifting. So we're going to break into that more today. Like I just said, Shelby will talk more about nutrition strategies. Ashley will talk through different mindset pieces and really the inner work of transformation. And then I'm going to come on and I'm going to share with you a story, just showing you like how this actually comes into play in real life. So me and Ashley are going to hop up, and Ms. Shelby, I'll go ahead and give it to you. I hope you ladies really enjoy this masterclass.
Thank you. Hey, ladies. I am very excited to chat through some key pieces here regarding how our nutrition can actually be what is standing in the way of us and our dream physique, right? So, a lot of women come to us and say, I eat healthy, but they still don't feel like they're getting results. They can't see anything changing, right? They're choosing the right foods, they're sticking to the basics, trying to stay consistent, but they're not seeing the progress they'd expect, right? They feel tired, maybe puffy, a little frustrated, maybe confused. And what is the first thing that comes to mind? Something must be wrong with what I'm eating. But here's the hard truth: nothing's wrong with the foods you're eating or with you. The problem is the strategy that we're using. Your strategy just doesn't match your goals. So, how do we know if our strategy is actually aligned with our goals? Let's ask ourselves, are you seeing consistent progress in your strength, your energy, your physique? Are you eating in a way that supports your lifestyle and it doesn't drain you? Do you feel clear and confident in what you are doing? Or are you constantly second guessing yourself? If you hesitated at any of these, it might be time to go ahead and realign your strategy. Comment 100 below if you did, because effort without direction only leads us to burnout, right? So, jumping into clean eating, we hear it all the time. I eat clean, and it's true. Clean eating is a really great starting point, but clean eating isn't a strategy, it's a style. So let's take two of the exact same women who eat the same exact clean meals. They're eating maybe rice, chicken, avocado, spinach. And one of these women is eating 1,200 calories a day. She is not hitting her protein. The other one is eating her 1,900 calories a day. She's hitting her 140-gram protein goal every single day. So one of these ladies is really spinning her wheels. She's not seeing any changes. She doesn't feel great. The other one, she's getting leaner, she's getting stronger, she's feeling shredded, right? Building her confidence. Same foods, different outcomes. Okay. Why is that? Because the strategy. We're fueling every day for her exact lifestyle and prioritizing what is most important when it needs to be. So it's about making good choices, but we need the framework that actually supports results. You can eat healthy all day long, but if it's not paired with structure, flexibility, a clear strategy, you're still stuck, right? Without flexibility, clean eating can actually hold you back because it doesn't give you the space with your nutrition to see results, right? Kristen went over a lot of flexibility yesterday with your nutrition to help with this. And so many high performing women will fall into this trap because we want to do it right, right? We're used to aiming for the A plus. We want to get that gold star, and clean eating seems like the answer to that. But when it doesn't deliver the result, we start to get frustrated. Maybe we double down on being stricter. We just start restricting more and more. So what if the answer isn't about being stricter, but in being smarter with how we fuel or when we're fueling? So this can look like maybe nutrient timing, tracking accuracy, fueling through the week, fueling for your specific body, right? We're all so unique and so different. So when women don't see results with clean eating alone, they start to maybe blame the food, that they just aren't eating enough of the right things. Maybe they aren't doing enough of the right things, but those typically aren't the issues. It's the lack of pairing those high quality foods that you are eating with a strategy that's tailored to you, to your goals, your lifestyle, your body, right? If you've ever felt like eating clean is just not cutting it for you, drop a smiley face emoji in the comments so that we can start to reframe the way that you're thinking about your food and give you the tools to make it start working for you, not against you. So, clean eating can mean a lot of things, right? So, let's break it down to the basics as to why it may not be working for you and how to start building more strategy for you and your specific lifestyle. So, the foundation here, okay? One thing that could be happening is inaccurate tracking. You might think you're eating enough protein or you're staying within your calorie range, right? You track your meals, but when we actually look at the numbers, we see it's not quite adding up. You either are underestimating, maybe you're overestimating portions, you're not logging those bite slicks tastes, leaving out maybe the creamer in your coffee or those gummy vitamins that you had, right? They all start to add up. So, some clarity here. Just like Kristen said yesterday, tracking in grams, milliliters, or ounces is the most accurate way to know what you're eating when you say you are, right? One serving or 1 tablespoon can look a lot of different ways to different eyes. So let's clean this up and keep it accurate by weighing our food. And a gram is just so small that it really allows us to keep that consistent accuracy. Logging everything that you are consuming is a key piece in allowing yourself the flexibility and the enjoyment of what you're eating, because we're starting to become more conscious of what we choose to fuel our bodies with and how that fuel affects us and how we feel in our workouts in our day to day, right? So, in the end, who are we cheating if we don't track everything and we weigh when we have the time to, right? It's how we train our eyes so that one day we can successfully intuitively eat. So, if you're someone who tracks, but you often find yourself maybe skipping a few bites, licks, tastes, drop a thumbs up in the comments. So many women do this, right? And when women start to track with intention and accuracy, we start seeing things shift really fast. They're not just checking a box, they start to understand, okay, this is what I'm fueling my body with. This is the portion size in front of me, right? And then how this all adds up. That confidence then bleeds into everything else. So they're not second guessing anymore. They feel in control, not restricted. Guessing doesn't work if we want the results, right? And tracking, we want it to be as accurate as possible to make a difference. However, there are going to be moments that we're going to guesstimate, right? We all have lives to live. We're going to eat out. The husband's going to make dinner. The friends are going to make dinner. We are going to be traveling and not have access to cooking any of our meals, right? So let's build the foundation when we have the ability to build your eye so that we know you can start to see those results on time, and eventually it can work you again into that intuitive eating because we're training your eye. Weighing and tracking when we're at home and we have the ability to just allows us to become more and more accurate. Okay. So, second, we're going into the calorie banking cycle. How many times have you undereaten maybe Monday through Thursday only to overdo it on Friday or Saturday? Drop a heart in the comments. You think you're being maybe really disciplined, you're trying to stick to that strict calorie count through the week, eating all those really clean foods, but then you blow it out of the water when the weekend hits. You tell yourself, I'll just enjoy myself. I deserve it, right? And then Sunday rolls around and you start to feel awful, right? You're bloated, maybe a little bit of like guilt from it, or you've just undone all of your hard work. is those emotions that are coming into play. So each time we fall into this trap, we start to condition ourselves to pair that really strict black and white week with the day to day, and then that colorful free for all with the weekend. And then the result of it being not feeling well, right? So it's not that necessarily we're lacking discipline in that colorful weekend. It's that you're treating your body more like a bank account, right? We are storing those calories on the weekends, and then we're just overdrawing, or we're storing them on the weekdays and overdrawing on the weekends, right? So in the end, we're sabotaging our progress some because we're not allowing our body the fuel that it needs to thrive. So it's a little bit of an unsustainable outlook on our nutrition that keeps setting us back, right? It's just that calorie banking cycle. Your body needs the fuel through the week. It needs those nutrients to function, to build muscle, to get the most out of your workouts, right? And sustain your energy. When you undereat all week, your body downregulates, right? You get tired, your digestion slows, cravings ramp up, and that's why you end up in that free for all, right? Fueling properly during the week makes your body less desperate on the weekends. So, what are some ways we can work around this? Something that we repeat frequently. Pre-planning is and always will be your best friend, whether it's planning out your protein, or maybe we're finding those treats that you really enjoy and how we can fit those in through the week. Okay. Maybe we have a small portion of it every single day if that's something that you want to do, but let's plan it in when we can. So then maybe we want a dinner out, maybe a glass of wine on Wednesday. No worries. Let's plan ahead when we can. Again, we can absolutely enjoy every single day while not sabotaging our progress, right? We don't have to eat the chicken and broccoli every single night to see results. So then, third, are your macros tailored to you? We should feel good in a deficit and in maintenance, right? So if we don't, this may be something we need to work through to ensure the time you're spending prepping, planning your food is supporting your goals. There are a few core elements that make up a solid nutrition strategy that we look at after this foundation when we're helping women go from spinning the wheels to feeling completely in control. So number one is precision with protein. It's not just about hitting a number. It's about spreading your intake across the day so that you're fueling recovery as well. You're managing hunger and you're preserving lean muscle. Protein at each meal means consistent energy and better body composition. That means instead of that one giant shake at night, that's 50 grams of protein, you're evenly fueling your body throughout the day, thinking maybe 25 to 35 grams a meal. Okay. Maybe we're getting 15 to 20 in a snack, even at times. This helps your body actually use what you're giving it, keeps you full, keeps you energized all day long, right? Two, balancing meals with intent. So we want to make sure each meal includes, let's say, a lean protein, a fiber rich carb, a healthy fat, and some volume, maybe like veggies, right? Why do we want to do this? Because this combo keeps you full, it supports digestion, and it gives your body the fuel it needs to support your day to day without the crashes. Imagine that you've just crushed your morning lift, okay? You've got to run to the office, you're super busy this morning, you grab a cup of coffee and an apple. Your body is screaming at you for fuel. You just broke down so many muscle fibers, right? You use so much energy in that workout, and we aren't able to refill that energy. So prepping your post workout, having a couple go-tos, right? Options available keeps it simple while allowing you to actually feel your best. So then three, this one kind of meshes in with balancing those meals is nutrient timing. It doesn't have to be that complicated. So what it is knowing when your body needs fuel the most. Are you lifting in the morning? Great. Let's front load some carbs before. A lot of my ladies, I'm like, let's get a banana or we can get a rice cake. Let's get maybe an applesauce pouch, something in right before your lift. And then post workout, let's find a good carb. Let's find some good protein. Let's say you have a long stretch of afternoon meetings, right? Let's make sure that your lunch supports your focus and your satiety because we might be missing our afternoon snack. Or is there a snack that you have available that'd be simple to have between meetings or in your meeting, right? And then if you are struggling to remember to eat, maybe setting those reminders or alarms to go off on your phone at the times of day when you need to be having one of your snacks or one of your meals, right? We all get caught up in what we're doing in a day. And having that reminder allows us to go grab that fuel, because oftentimes we say, well, let me finish this. And in the end, right, that mental clarity starts to dip. So if I can fuel really quickly while I'm still working, I can get through the day and be more efficient. So another place where that pre-planning is super helpful. So then number 4 is real life flexibility. Your plan should include the room for dinner's out, right? Your glass of wine and your treats you love, right? Because when you know how to pivot, you stop starting over. These aren't just those boxes to check. Like I said, they're tools that help you take ownership. And that's what separates a short term diet from a real lifestyle shift, right? Once we understand that food is a tool, we can stop fearing the scale, we can stop guessing, and start creating some real momentum. And that's what motivates us high performers: results, clarity, and the progress you can feel, right? The key is creating that plan that fits into your busy lifestyle, a strategy that works for you, not against you, while ensuring that your foundation you've built is strong enough to support you for the rest of your life. As a high performer, right, your schedule is demanding and you're always juggling multiple priorities. But here's the thing: your nutrition doesn't have to be one more thing that feels like a burden, right? It can be something that fuels your success. It gives you energy that you need to crush your goals, your workouts, your day to day work life, right? And it supports your mental clarity and your energy. You want to feel strong, you want to feel energized, confident, and that's exactly what a sustainable nutrition strategy will do for you, rather than sticking to just a style of eating, right? It's not about adding more stress or trying to squeeze in those perfect meals all the time. It's about giving yourself the structure and flexibility to stay on track, even when life gets chaotic, because it does. By learning how to manage your nutrition with intention, you'll find that it complements your busy lifestyle, right? Whether it's maybe we prep our meals for the week, maybe we have those go to snacks in our desk at work. Maybe it's that knowing that I'm going to have the confidence to make that mindful choice when I'm out to dinner, right? Okay, where's my lean protein? Where's my veg, right? It's about building those habits that empower you so that you can enjoy every day and what you are filling your body with. That's what fuels the consistency, not the perfection, right? Not the obsession or it consuming your entire life, but a deep understanding of how to take care of yourself and how that pours into everything else you do: your relationships, work, your workouts, your leadership. When we take the pressure off of doing it all perfectly and instead ask ourselves, what would it look like if this just worked for my life? How can I make these two mesh together? Then we start to win, right? Because now nutrition isn't just another chore, it's your advantage. So if you want to chat more about your strategy, comment strategy below and we'll reach out. In summary, what we need to take into account is it's not about trying harder or being stricter with yourself. It's about creating that plan that works for you, working with what we have, and then having that confidence to think maybe on your toes, right? So that you can fuel your body, we can stay strong, we can get stronger and feel your best. Because once you have that strategy in place, everything else starts to fall into place too, right? So, thank you, ladies, for listening in. I will now pass you off to Coach Ashley. She is going to walk you through some amazing tweaks with your mindset and just working towards that woman that you want to become.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shelby. That was amazing. All right, we're going to totally shift gears here. But before I do that, I just want to invite you, because I feel like I need it right now. Just if you need to take a breath, just take a deep breath for a second. Maybe you need to like shake it out for a second, whatever you need to do. But like I said, we're going to totally shift gears. We've talked about physique shaping. Shelby talked about nutrition. So now we're going to talk about that mindset piece. Okay. So ladies, let's start here. Tell me if this sounds like you. You're doing all the things, right? You are maybe lifting 4 or 5 times a week. You're tracking your macros, hopefully. Or maybe you're just like eating with intention, right? You're making really smart choices. You're staying consistent. You are following the plan, but maybe you're still not quite where you want to be, right? If this sounds familiar, just drop a 1 in the comments below. Just let us know. Where are you at right now? Maybe you're looking at your body and you're thinking, I should be more toned by now, right? Or my waist should be looking tighter. Or I feel really strong, but I don't look like someone who works as hard as I do, right? And when the reflection doesn't match the effort, often the next thought that we have then is usually like, is this as far as my body will go, right? Or maybe I just need to give it more time. Maybe it's my hormones. Maybe it's cortisol or stress, right? Maybe it's just that my body doesn't respond like other women's bodies, right? We start having all these thoughts. So, if that's been running through your mind lately, just drop a 2 below, because I know that you're not alone. Like, so many women that we talk to have these thoughts. So I want to show you something today that most high achieving women never hear when they're stuck at this level, right? The transformation that you want, those next level results where your physique actually matches or reflects your effort, right? It doesn't happen after the process. It is the process. Okay. And the mistake that so many women make when progress stalls is they assume that the answer must be, we have to do more, right? I have to do more cardio. I have to tighten up on my macros. I have to indulge less, right? I need more structure. I need more discipline, right? Drop a 3 if that sounds familiar. I know us high achievers. I know you. I am one, right? But what if I told you the problem's not your body, right? It's not your hormones. It's not your metabolism. And it's definitely not your effort, okay? It's your approach, right? And specifically, being stuck in an outcome-oriented mindset, okay? Here's what I mean by that. When we measure success only by the physical outcome, like how your body looks, right? How fast the scale moves, we miss the most important part of what actually creates change, how we show up, right? Day in and day out when no one's watching. Most women at your level, they're not stuck or they're not struggling because they're inconsistent, right? They're struggling because they're stuck in something that I call the effort loop, right? Working harder and harder without realizing that it's actually their habits, their mindset, and their identity are still wired around just chasing a result rather than embodying the process that leads to that result. If that lands, just drop a 4 so I know you're still with us. So let's zoom in on this for a second. When you're outcome oriented, you're only satisfied if you can see the progress, right? You're judging your success by the scale, by your measurements, by what you see in the mirror. And then when things don't move fast enough, you start to panic, right? You start tweaking things. You start tightening up in some areas. You tell yourself, like, I'm just doing something wrong, right? Or, gosh, something must be wrong with my body, right? But the truth is, it's not your hormones sabotaging you. It's your belief that your body only responds when you force it to. So here's the shift that I really want to invite you to make today. What if the old saying is true? It's not about doing more, right? It's about doing the right things with the right mindset long enough to actually let them work. Because the women who see those next level results that you're after, it's not that they just have perfect programs. They have a different way of thinking, okay? They're not constantly chasing the outcome. They are building habits that actually reflect the woman that they want to become, right? And they trust that the results are coming even before they can see them, right? That's the difference between someone who gets visible results and someone who's just going to stay stuck. It's not willpower. It truly is identity, right? So if you've ever felt like your body should be changing more for the work that you're putting in, maybe it's just that you're working from the wrong mindset, right? So let's talk about the brain for just a second, because this isn't just woo-woo mindset stuff. There's actual neuroscience behind this, which I think is really cool. Your thoughts literally shape your behaviors and your reality as a result, right? Because your brain is actually wired to filter the world to confirm actually the beliefs that you already have, right? So if your internal dialogue is like, this isn't working, or maybe I need to give it more time, or I should be further along, right? I guess this is just how my body is. Other negative thought patterns like that, your brain is going to search for proof that those things are true, and they're going to reinforce it with your actions. Okay. So you'll start maybe changing up your workouts, right? You start program hopping because you're like, what gives? Like, this isn't working. Or maybe you unconsciously like stop tracking as accurately, right? Or maybe you even accidentally kind of start backsliding in your nutrition. And it's not because you're lazy, right? It's because your belief system is working against you and you don't even realize it. But when you start thinking like the version of you who already has the results that you want, your brain starts shifting then into action that actually supports those beliefs, right? And you maybe start reframing your thoughts and say, I can get help without it making me feel weak, right? I'm building something sustainable. I'm building something sustainable and I'm going past my current level of knowledge, right? It's smart to invest in mentorship because that's what all successful people do, right? They never feel like they need to, figure it out on their own or just give it more time. Like, I'm living like her now because it's a choice, right? And it's not just mentally that you start to see the proof of that, right? It actually happens. Like, you actually start seeing the proof because your actions then become consistent, right? Not because you're forcing it, but because your internal dialogue, your mindset is finally aligned, right? So drop a 6 if that's the kind of shift that you feel like you're like, yeah, I need to make that. I need that shift. Because here's the truth. The woman you want to become, she's not waiting for you at your goal weight, right? Or your perfect pant size. She is built in your daily decisions, right? In the way you show up in your lifts and the way you respond when you're feeling bloated, right? Or you're stressed or you're tired. She shows up in the way that you talk to yourself, right? When progress maybe feels a little bit slow. And the more you practice being her now, not once your body changes, right now, the more your body's going to reflect that the work you're already putting in, right? So let's take it a layer deeper. That shift into a process-oriented mindset, it doesn't just change your body, it changes how you move through your life. You stop questioning yourself, right? You stop overcorrecting. You stop feeling like you have to obsess over every choice, every bite, you start finally feeling free. You show up in your business or your work like so much more confident, right? You step into rooms and you have this like incredible presence and energy. You enjoy more intimacy with your partner, right? Because you feel confident. You enjoy food without guilt. You feel in control and free, truly, like I said. That's what happens when you stop trying to force your body to change, and instead you just start becoming and start living like the woman who that transformation has already happened, right? You've already gotten those results and you're living like you're already her now because she's already there, right? Drop a 7 below if that's what you want, right? Not just visible results, but results that feel easy to live in. I think that's what everybody wants, right? So if anything that I've said today is resonating with you, like you've been doing the work, deep down, your body is capable of so much more. Maybe you just haven't found the right guidance, right? Or you haven't had the right eyes on it or the right process for this level of change that you're looking for. We'd absolutely love to chat with you and just chat about what's possible, right? So sometimes all you need is just someone who can help you zoom out, right? Someone who can say like, you're closer than you think you are, and here's exactly what's missing, okay? Your body, like I said, is capable of so much change. Your results can absolutely reflect your effort. And the woman that you're becoming, she's already there. She's already in you. You just have to stay in the process long enough to let her change, let her emerge. All right. The process is the transformation. All right, amazing, ladies. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful for you all. I'm going to pass it back to Kristen, who's going to show you what mentorship is all about.
Thank you. So actually, I want to share some stories because I love what both those guys were saying. I hope you found that so valuable. And with Shelby, it was like actionable strategy. And with Ashley, I felt like it was a lot of thinking, which is so good. And I really encourage you to maybe sit down and journal some of this out. If you don't journal, it is such a powerful tool for awareness, because when you do it non-judgmentally, do not judge yourself at all. You should be a safe place for yourself to really let it all out. And when you really journal your thoughts and ask yourself, why? Okay, I feel this way. Why? I don't know. Okay, well, let's think about it. Write it out. Write out, just brain dump, brain dump, brain dump. You can get to the root of things. And when you know the root of something, then you're able to way more easily change it, because you have awareness, right? The first step to change is awareness, right? So I want to share with you a few stories. I often do this. I write a script and then I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just want to talk to you ladies. And I hope this is so valuable. So, one thing that we teach constantly at Queens of Iron is physique shaping. Physique shaping. You probably hear it from us all the time, right? And some women say, I don't care how I look. I just want to feel good and be healthy. And you can have both, right? And I think that some women, if they feel a little bit of that, of like, I should be happy with what I've achieved so far. I look great. I'm really healthy. I'm really strong. I'm taking care of myself. There's more. There's more. You question it, but there's more. But you also ask yourself, like, am I being greedy for wanting more? Do I even deserve more? Or should I just be happy with where I'm at now? And that's a really valid thought, right? And so I want to help you shift that perspective, because yes, looking and feeling incredible feels really good. And it is really cool, right? So should that be your absolute focus? Well, no, not the absolute focus, right? We want to be strong. We want to definitely not have any muscle imbalances. We want to be capable. We want to really wholesomely take care of our body. However, if you stop there, you are missing out on your potential. 1,000,000%. You are missing out on your potential. And let me share a few stories. And Ashley, I'm going to share your story, actually. So correct me if I'm wrong, okay, in any of this point, or if you want to hop on, just raise your hand. I'll pull you back on. So Ashley was my client many years ago. We trained together for about 2 years, and it was amazing. This woman was so compliant. She put forth so much effort, and she changed tremendously. She lost about 50 pounds. Half the time we were at maintenance calories, like really building a strong body. She moved in that time. Like there was so much going on. You're a real estate agent, right, Ash? Here, let me play you back in. You real estate?
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah. So two things that happened. The first thing is, I think she got down, I think it was like about 165 or so, I want to say. She started at 206, if I remember correctly. And she got about there and she's like, okay, I think I'm good here. And I'm like, no, why? Why are you good here? Like, why do you want to stop? We're making such great progress. You're getting shredded. Like, let's keep going. And it was the identity. She never thought that she could get to that point. And so when she got to that point, it was like, oh, well, I have never thought about what's ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, because the identity work had not happened for lower than that, right? So of course she took the challenge and she's like, oh, okay, let's keep going. Boom. That is a good point of mentorship, to be like, oh no, girl, we ain't stopping now. What do you mean? Mentorship catches the blind spots of when you put the ceiling of limiting self-belief. That's a tongue twister. Mentorship is like, oh, excuse you, take that off. Like, no, thank you. That doesn't belong here. But it is such identity work, because oftentimes women think, I'll feel so empowered and be that, like, I mean, you're a badass. Many of you, you're a badass, and you are. But there's so much more empowerment and confidence, and even more confidence than you have right now, that I think so many don't understand exists until you experience it. That's another thing. But my point is like, no one's going to come give you the award of, you're a fit, healthy, fabulously looking woman, right? We decide that. We decide exactly who we are. We decide we're a successful business owner. We decide we're a good wife. We decide we're a good friend. When we decide, our behavior matches, like Ashley was talking about. So it's not about saying, when I feel it, then I'll decide. No. We decide well before we feel it. And then because we are rooting our identity in that, our behavior starts to shift, and then boom, it happens. But what happened first? We chose it. Okay. So then what happened with Ashley, right? She was a real estate agent. She quit her job, started her own fitness and nutrition business, and impacted a ton of women. And a year later, I'm like, hey, you want to come over here? Like, I'd love to have you on the team, right? And she would have never done that had she not basically worked with a mentor and completely changed her life. So was looking amazing, was that just like to look amazing and to be vain? Hell no. It completely transformed her life. And now it's transforming how she's showing up as a leader in her family for fitness, for nutrition, for lifestyle, and for mindset work. This is a key thing that's really missed, ladies, is it's like, let me just get on the right plan. Let me do the right nutrition or nutrition style instead of strategy, like Shelby was talking about. And what happens is the inner work is not being done. And so you actually will never live in the outcome. You can't, because your body changes at the rate of your mind. You know what I mean? And so you guys, that inner work and the lifestyle side of it is, you cannot achieve a fit, healthy, amazing body forever without it, because you need to become it. It needs to become you, right? So instead of being like, not to call you guys out, but some of you tell me, I don't like vegetables. I'm like, woman, just keep eating vegetables until you like them. That's what I tell my son. Your taste buds will change. Just keep eating them until you like them. I have proved this with many food items for myself, actually. It's so effective. It's sometimes like, dude, just commit. But it's the identity work. It's actually saying, I'm not going to be someone that says I dislike vegetables, just as an example. I choose to decide, regardless of what I feel, that I really enjoy vegetables, and I enjoy really healthy, hearty salads, and I enjoy choosing good foods, and I enjoy this, and I enjoy this. And even if your mind is like, girl, no, you don't, just say, you're right. I used to not, and now I do. It's like, shut it up. You know what I mean? We choose, regardless of feelings, who we are. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be shredded and look amazing and feel amazing and do everything they wanted in the whole wide world, right? But it's the inner work, I believe, that deeply stops people, because sometimes it can be painful. But I really believe it's actually fear of success and fear of the unknown. Like, who am I? If you really dig to the root, some of you are like, no way, I don't feel that way. And some of you are like, yeah, that's me. This was me. And it still pops up randomly in different areas of my life. And it's like, you have to pause and be like, oh, let me deal with this. Because if I don't deal with this, then there's going to be a ceiling of self-limiting belief that's not going to come off until I do, right? So don't be afraid of it. There's no place for shame. Never. Oh my gosh, there's never a place for shame. There is a place for grace and transformation. Let's walk through it, you know? Let me share another story. This is one of my favorite stories, I think because I was so close in the coaching process. This gal, I think we trained together for about a year. 4 children, really insecure in her body. She was my age. I think she was about, I want to say she was maybe 36 now, maybe 37. Insecure in her body, and she looked great. Like, if you just looked at her, so many of you would be like, I don't get it. She looks fine. But the way you feel in your own skin and clothes, in the mirror, in the shower, in your intimacy with your partner, and so on, is really different maybe than what people see you. And she shared a lot, right? She struggled to get turned on in the bedroom because she didn't feel good in her body, right? She was insecure. She didn't really want to wear dresses. She didn't really want to wear shorts. She just was kind of a little bit mundane, right? 6 months into our experience together, she had lost almost 20 pounds. This woman was so flipping different. I mean, it was like jaw-dropping different. But this is what happens to your personality. And the point of me sharing you this story is, it's not about vanity. It's about when you look and feel on the outside how you feel on the inside, or how you want to feel, your personality explodes in the best way, because you get to be that much more deeply and freely you in ways you actually didn't know were there. But because you're so confident and joyful and spunky and sparkly, it's like life is so much more fun, right? So she lost about 20 pounds, increased her calories. We were working up to maintenance, right? All the things. The amount of pictures I received in her workout clothes and her spandex shorts and her sundresses, she was like a powerhouse. I mean, it was like night and day difference. And seeing her on the other side, I was like, girl, it was like you had a blanket covering you. It was like that wasn't really you. It was like this like covered version of you with feeling like crap all day, right? In your skin, or not feeling as good as you know you can. It's just so radically different, ladies. It's so radically different how you feel from the inside out. So if there is any part of you that feels like I should just be happy with what I've achieved, heck yes, gratitude always in every situation, no matter what. But don't let that stop you just because you haven't got to the next level, or you don't know what that looks like, or you're like, is that for me? Can my body even achieve that? You can do anything in your career, in your family, in your body, in your life, in your finances, in your joy, anything, literally ever. Everyone is human. Look at what all these people have achieved. You can do that. You can do that. It's where's your identity rooted? What needs to change? We're going to be growing in this area for the rest of our lives. It's not an overnight fix. Again, no shame, right? What areas can I shift my identity? What am I speaking over myself? Do you speak negatively every time in the mirror? Start to shift that. Oh, I wish I looked better. Look at my pudge. Instead of saying, look at my muscles. Look at my heart. Look at my character. I'm so grateful for this day. What process can I improve on today? Or yes, what box can I check? But not in the way of like what Shelby was saying. Don't just go through the motions, check the box. Or I think one of the gals was saying that. Don't just go through the motions. Check the box of like, I showed up the way I wanted to today. How do I want to feel when I lay my head on my pillow, right? The identity work, ladies, the strategy, the right lifting plan for your body is also vital, because it's like you want the plan that actually gets you there. That's number one. And it doesn't just happen from working out. We've all done that. We've all lifted weights and worked out and got shredded and so fit. And all of us, why doesn't my body look better than this by now? It's like, oh, physique shaping. Oh, I needed the right strategy, the right systems, the right actual protocol for my body with the right, all the little variables to really get there, right? So don't blame your body. It's not you. You don't know what you don't know. You're doing an incredible job. We're helping you see the areas that if you tweak them and adjust them how you need, like we've said, right? Adjusting to your lifestyle, adjusting to have flexibility, not perfection mindset, adjusting your identity, adjusting your lifting protocol. When you make those fine tune, it's not coarse movements. You're past that. Most of you, you're past that. You're doing a great job. When you make those fine tune adjustments, it's like, whoa, I didn't know my body could look like this. It's like, yeah, girl, you had it all along. You just needed to make those fine-tune adjustments. Okay. So I hope this is so encouraging to help you see, like, girl, let's go. You can do it. You can do it. All right, ladies. So that is our educational, value-packed 2-day masterclass, helping you have a lot of strategy, a lot more awareness. I hope that was super, super helpful. I'd love to hear, what was your biggest takeaway? And if you need the replay for yesterday, let me know. But I'd love to hear, what was your biggest takeaway, and was this helpful for you? I know yesterday, several of you were saying it was super helpful. So I'm so glad. Like, that's why we want to do it, right? Is to actually help you and help you progress forward. So I'd love to hear, what was your biggest takeaway if you want to share. You can also ask questions. Like yesterday, Sierra and I stayed on for a little bit and we just answered whatever questions you guys had, and we'll pull them up on the screen. We can do that for you as well. Literally, I'll stay on as long as you want. And now, while you guys are putting those in the comments, I'm going to tell you about how we coach clients. And so if you are wanting to take that step towards mentorship, you know what's available to you, okay? And this is our 5th anniversary for Queens of Iron, training online. I personally have been training over 15 years. The team as a whole have over 40. Well, actually, I just fired 2 trainers, sorry. Now there's 4 of us. So probably over 30 years of experience combined. But online, we're turning 5 this month. So I have some really cool coaching promos for like extra free months when you enroll, things like that. So Anyway, so how we coach clients is I'll share 3 ways. We do nutrition, fitness, and lifestyle, and all the ways that we talk through today, okay? So for nutrition, we get you on the right macros to shed about 1 pound per week. The scale does fluctuate, so we primarily go by measurements, but so you can understand the rate of loss that your program is set for. And like Shelby said, as high achievers, we're really motivated by seeing results, by seeing that the results for the work that we're putting in, right? So that rate of loss definitely helps you see really consistent results, which is so beautiful. But it's also a really healthy and sustainable rate of loss. So it helps to preserve your muscle mass and make sure that your metabolism is staying healthy and you're still taking care of your body. Okay. Now, depending how much weight you have to lose, if it's less than about 25 pounds, we'll go in and we'll get all the fat off, just one and done, right? Once you have all the fat off that you're wanting and you're like, this is amazing, I feel great here, like this is where I want to stay, this is really where I want to maintain forever. At that point, what we do is very slowly increase your calories, increase your macros to teach your body how to eat more and not gain the weight back. This is a huge, huge piece to bring a lot of health to your metabolism and help your body create that new physical set point. So essentially like where your body naturally wants to live long term, which makes it way easier to maintain your results physically long term. Mentally, we help you maintain your results long-term through the lifestyle coaching, which I'll talk about in a second, okay? So we help you get all the fat off, increase your calories, and then teach your body really how to maintain your results long-term. Then we can even wean you off of macros when you're ready. For those who don't have any weight to lose, what we do is we put you in maintenance calories and totally recomp your body, which means you're going to shed fat and you're going to build muscle at the same time. So your weight stays the same, but you tighten up, you shred up, and then for sure you build in shape through physique shaping, okay, which is what we specialize in. It's very different than normal weightlifting. Physique shaping is just really strategically placing muscle in the right places. There's so many variables involved. So as the fat's coming off, you love what you reveal. You look amazing. It's intentional crafting design, okay? So our 3-step process is called the Fit, Fierce, and Feminine Framework, totally customized around you and your goals so you can feel and look exactly how you want to in your own body. So you can go live your life without the emotional weight of not feeling great or not feeling like you really want to feel. You know what I mean? Perfect. Now for the lifestyle side, this part is so key. Like Ashley said, every successful person has mentors, seriously. And I am the same with business. I always have mentors. I always hire coaches. Like I believe in mentorship so much because it's the fastest way to get somewhere with the least amount of mistakes, right? So you're giving yourself the gift of time and time is very precious to me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I will always invest in mentorship because you're going with people who have been there, done that so many times. It's easy. It's so much more direct, right? Even Harvard medical research shows having the right support systems around you are vital to accomplish your goals faster and in a way you can maintain long-term. Long-term is key. We take this so seriously. So we make sure that you have the external accountability you need to make those internal habit changes to conquer your body, love the skin you're in, and really, really be able to maintain your results for the rest of your life. Body freedom, and it's available, but it does take this learning curve, okay? So you'll have a one-on-one trainer nutritionist all throughout this program, Ashley, Shelby, or Sierra, the girls you've seen, the women you've seen, excuse me, ladies, the last 2 days. And they walk right alongside you, helping with your weightlifting form feedback, looking at your food logs, making sure you're on the exact right macros, going through your physique changes every week, helping you eat out, helping you with random challenges that come up, helping you be compliant. We're so MFing present with clients. This is not the company that's like, here's your plan. Good luck. I'll talk to you next week. For those who want independence, sure, that's fine. You can do that. But we like to be in the weeds with you because we're here for true total transformation and identity change. And that takes work and that takes support, right? So we're here to really support you through that and make sure that you do know how to be successful for your body, your lifestyle, your mind, everything that you specifically are experiencing every day, right? So you know what to do so you can continue to see those results week after week after week after week, bring your calories up and feel incredible in your body. Like, I'm like, let's go. So if you're interested in that, if you want to talk through more of your goals and more details, just comment info below and I'll reach out and we'll chat through some stuff. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Good, Jess. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to pull up the other gals and then let me pull up, I know Summer. What's up, Summer? I'm so glad that you're here. I was hoping that you'd come today too. So the tips and tricks for eating out, social events, and travel were really helpful. Yeah, that's what that was yesterday. I always love hearing Ashley speak about mindset. Always a great reminder. Yeah, heck yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys, we went through a lot of stuff for travel, eating out, social events yesterday. So again, if you want that, shoot me a message and we'll talk through, or I'll send you the replay for that. That was like half the masterclass yesterday was like really actionable tips for you. Okay, cool. Ladies, any other questions that we can answer or any topics? If you're like, what do you think about this? Go ahead and comment and we'll give you a few moments, but otherwise that'll be it for today. Ash, Shelby, anything you want to say before we hop off? Any tidbit? Not to put you on the spot or anything. Words of wisdom.
Oh my goodness. I hope you ladies enjoyed everything. Yeah, if you have any questions on anything we said or thoughts or comments, you can always message Kristen or again, comment, let us know. We're always here to help.
Absolutely.
One thing too, you guys, Sierra touched on this a little bit yesterday, but when you are, got you, Denise, 1 second. When you're lifting, especially in maintenance, if you're in maintenance calories and you feel like your body's not changing, that's a super good indicator. The problem is your lifting routine or how heavy you're lifting, your form, your intention, like the details in your lifting. But in maintenance, if you're feeling plateaued, it's 99% of the time, it's an issue in your lifting routine for sure. Cool. Yes, Denise, absolutely. There will be a replay, yeah, for sure, for this one and yesterday. You got it. Yeah, if you don't mind, love, just shoot me over a message and I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link. Yeah, no problem, girl. No problem. Yeah, it'll be here for you guys. We don't take them down. We want you guys to always have this information, always, right? Because we want you to thrive. Like I was saying yesterday, we've all had our own version of being where you are. We're so passionate to help you get to this side where you look and feel incredible. You're strong, you're healthy, you're fit, your body's supporting your life. Just you're mastering your nutrition. Everything's on point forever. So really, that's what we're here. Okay, Somer. So Shelby mentioned tracking vitamin gummies. I didn't realize I need to do that. Does that fall into carbs? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it can even be like, sometimes it's up to like 12 grams of carbs, which I mean, that can add up. Yeah, that can really add up. I was thinking about doing a reel on like taking a bite of my son's pancake, taking a bite of this throughout the day, and then like actually tracking it and being like, look, you guys, this was actually 250 calories that snuck in without me even realizing it, taking bites and licks. Imagine that 250 calories over 7 days, how much that adds up. Boom, you're out of a deficit in some cases. And you're like, why isn't my body changing? It was just a small bite. I'm telling you, precision tracking, it might feel annoying, but it's so worth it because it's for a time. You precision track, which develops so many incredible habits. So eventually you can stop tracking macros and maintain your abs year round with ease. It's so possible. I've done it for years and years and years and years. Yes, sure. I go back for like maybe 6 month stints of, all right, let me shred up 2 pounds. I'm about to do that actually for summer. And for like the reels, I'm like, okay, let me put myself back in the fire. But it's like, you can go back in, you can precision track for a few months or 6 months, whatever, shred up super, super tight, and then not track for a year and a half, and then do it again. Like it gets so easy. So the learning curve investment that we keep telling you about with time, with strategy, with doing the right protocol, it's so worth it for the lifetime of freedom in your body, in your plan, in your life, in everything. Because so many of you think about this all day long, your body and food. What if you never thought about it? You just felt incredible. Your body was healthy, fit, strong, feminine, toned to the level you want. You knew exactly what to eat. You could be flexible. You could do anything you want with ease. Like that's not just a cute dream. Like that is so possible. And it literally, this system gets you there. It takes time, heck yeah, but it gets you there. I'd love to talk about carb cycling. I'm like, I don't want to hug the mic. Would any of you like to start?
You can go for it. I think we all have the same opinion.
Yeah, Cheryl, this is a really, really great question. Here, I'm going to pull you guys out just for a second so they can see me a little bit more clear. This is a really good question. And there's a few different things I think about it. The first thing I think about it is let's say you're a little bit fluffier than you feel comfortable and you have a wedding, a beach trip, a photo shoot, something coming up, and you want to kind of tighten up like pretty quickly. It is a very effective strategy. It's a very effective strategy for sure. Is it a long-term healthy strategy? Absolutely not. Is it unnecessary in most cases? Yes. Unless you have that like event coming up, I would not mess with it because it's not teaching you healthy lifestyle habits. The more we take the time and be in the process and the transformation, just learning full-on healthy lifestyle for you, for results, both can coexist with playfulness, with flexibility. It's so much more worth your time investment because it will give you a higher return on investment, a higher ROI long-term. Carb cycling gives you a high ROI for like a second, but then when you stop doing it, if you don't have those habits built, boom, you'll just bloat back up, gain the weight back, and it's just an icky cycle. So it really depends what you want it for. Anything you ladies would add?
When I first joined, when you and I first started working together, I was doing carb cycling. And I remember I was like, do I have to keep doing this? And you were like, no, girl.
Please stop. Because, we are just here to help you live in the body freedom forever. And it doesn't come from intermittent fasting, keto, any diets. Is fasting 12 hours a night helpful to eliminate free radicals? And is it healthy for your body? Certainly. When used for a diet, is it necessary? Hell no. It's a quick fix to not really learning habits, right? We always need to be learning habits, or it's a waste of time, to say bluntly. And I'm sorry if that comes out rude. It's not meant to be. Okay, so Jess, yes, I remember you talking about sips and licks. It made me aware it can really add up so unfortunately much. Carrie, hi Carrie. Yes, the hardest mindset shift for me was not having to finish food on my plate because that's how I was raised. Yeah, that's very real. Also, precision tracking, like Shelby was talking about, the grams and milliliters and ounces, and taking the time, even though it does take a little bit longer to do it, helps you then when you don't track, way more easily understand portion sizes. The portion sizes I have seen people eat, like eating now and at buffets, I'm like, there is a serious issue in our country for understanding nutrition. And literally that's why we're here, is to help you guys totally understand nutrition and conquer it for your body and not fall into the traps of shiny object syndrome, or the next thing the internet is saying, or the news, or your doctor. Your doctor is not a fitness or nutrition professional at all. Okay. I'm not going to take like physics lessons from like my cosmetic surgeon. It's insane. It's just as bizarre to take fitness and nutrition advice from your doctor. That is not their profession at all. Okay. Mad respect to doctors. Stay in your lane. Pisses me off. So many people just get hurt. It's not cool. All right. Beautiful, ladies. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and hop off for now. Any other questions or thoughts or anything you want to share, go ahead and keep commenting, because I'll always come back and answer. And truly, I'm super available in Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger. So thank you guys for being here. We really love you. We really care for you and truly, truly want to help you. That is the only reason this company exists, is to serve you and help you feel incredible in your body and really learn how to take care of yourself long term. So, okay, cool. Have a great day, ladies. Talk to you later.